Deathcraft in 9 minutes and 58 seconds. After 5 days of long grinds, I finally achieved it. A sub 10 run. This is absolutely incredible because a whole month ago, the record was a 15:25 by a player named Goku. He was actually the whole reason why I started running this anyways, because I wanted a time to compete with. But this run is I feel like this run was very much carried by RNG, because as me going back to grab that baton for no reason whatsoever, what that might imply, this is definitely this is very sloppy gameplay, very messy gameplay. This was, as I said, 5 days of grinding, and the 5th day was the longest grind ever, and definitely the most strenuous because of just all of the effort I put into this, but I'll get into that later. So, for LLR, I changed up my strategy a little bit. Typically, I would look for a pipe bomb to do the ravine jump, but here instead I look for 2 adrenaline spawns. I get one on the first spawn, which is the best one. The second spawn is in a house by the well. But with this adrenaline, we're going to be going into LLR, we're going to be clearing the zombies from the ledge, and then we're going to be doing a very precise crouch hop to get ourselves across the ravine, with the boost of the adrenaline, of course. I started doing this trick over the other one, but it does require an adrenaline, which is very scarce in the first town level. Because other more professional runners, they would do 3 consecutive crouch hops to build up speed and jump over the ravine. That's a very precise maneuver. I've still only done this once, but as you can see here, just do 1 precise crouch hop and we're over. I also I completely miss the bridge somehow. I was hoping to completely ignore that stupid fail. I literally just missed the bridge entirely and took a lot of damage. Luckily the adrenaline speeds up the healing, so not too big of a time loss. But still, overall, we're still doing pretty good pace going into the TNT detonation. There's no tanks. Spoiler warning, there's no tanks at all in here. So, fantastic RNG. Like I said, carried by RNG, which was I'm very thankful for, because I was running this over 5 days, and I will say it was a little rough. The RNG, the consistent skill and play needed here is unbelievable. So this was on day 5 of my grind. This was the final day, obviously. Days 1 to 3 were pretty average. I would get 1 great pace across like potentially 100 attempts. Day 4 I was very tired that day and I just wanted to go to bed. So I didn't do too many runs that day. But day 5, really cool, but also very unsavory. Multiple great paces, but yet all of them were completely messed up by the usual suspects. Bad RNG, terrible special spawns at the worst place at the worst times, tiny little misplays that would ruin an entire run. That is pretty much the usual for Deathcraft. Going into Stronghold, I would say I have a pretty bad time actually, because on average I am going to lose time here in LLR, because Axe's was 1 minute and 58 seconds. That's hard to compete with. I've only managed to do a 1:48. I was literally with like cheats on. Like during practice, I was literally just me with director off, going through the whole map without b-hopping and just running, with like all the perfect items. Stronghold 2, this is also pretty rough as well. For some reason, I don't kill the zombie in gold armor, because usually I would kill any zombies on the top stairs, but I just completely didn't. I literally knew he was there, but I just didn't do anything about him. A bile bomb usually spawns in that chest there, so that's all good. But this stupid water b-hop down here, it pisses me off. I literally write it at the top. The zombie, he hit me while I was mid B-hop in the slow water section. So now I just lost like 3 seconds probably. And I make sure to hit the Herobrine trigger just because it's like, I hate this stupid Herobrine trigger. It never works out. This literally should have been, I'm upset here because like, this should have been like a green. I should have greened Stronghold, but just because of how tired I was and just, it didn't go well. Throughout this entire run, I somehow made every poor decision possible, and I still got carried by pure luck. Heaven sent. But now in Nether Fortress, I stopped going for the checking out of bounds with the third-person camera, and so instead we're just running directly towards the stone, because it's really not worth it to try to RNG reset, because the time is getting so tight that any amount of time lost is too big, especially 20 seconds. That's usually how long it takes to RNG reset. But it doesn't really matter because I end up getting super slowed down here. My jump into Silent Route, which is what I call it, because the player named Silent found it, was super slow, super slow. I'm just super on edge here. And I throw the Bile Bomb at 1 minute and 10 seconds. Definitely not the best, definitely not the best. But I make do with it. This is basically, at this point I'm quite literally tied with Axe's 10:05. But the biggest difference here for me was Mycelium Island, because I know how to really do it. I know how to get it perfectly. Unfortunately, I don't get it perfectly, because it is possible to get a 3-minute flat finale. It's just like, you have to play like super strongly, and I was just like not in the mindset to do so. But we're tied. We're tied. Unfortunately, we're tied. Despite the incredible RNG, the incredible amount of luck that this should have been like an easy 9:30. Unfortunately, I played this at the end of the day, at the end of a long grind. If I had just like gone to bed, went to sleep, woke up, got this run, got this RNG, this would have easily been a this would have easily been a 9:30. But getting into like my previous runs during this day, it was incredible. I felt like at the top of my game. Day 4, I was super tired. I didn't play that much because like the other 3 days were pretty average. Day 5, I spent so much time playing so good. Like I was really proud of my gameplay. I felt like I was playing like a bot. Like I was hitting B-hops, I was hitting flicks, I was getting tricks consistently, and just all of the runs fell flat because of the usuals undoing all my progress. I had a pace for 9:30, but a charger literally hit me through a corner, and I teleported through the walls into his loving arms. Like, what the hell? Another time I got here into the god spot, but in the midst of it, spamming the spacebar, I pressed my bind to change the difficulty to expert, and then suddenly a smoker came in, dragged me off. I literally got flashbacks here, and I did get back into position after killing the smoker, but it was enough to lose 2 seconds from sub 10, and I got a 10:01. Like that is devastating. Literally 2 seconds off. That's still record, but it wasn't sub 10. That is what I wanted the most. And as you can see here, we're finally ending it off. It's one of the runs that really that came before this that really just destroyed my energy was just like this run where I'd gotten here. I was on the dock, and then suddenly a hunter spawned out of nowhere because a hunter was not around at all. And I had gotten, all I heard was a screech, and the next second I was literally pounced and dead. And I lost 9:59. But this is better. I got a 9:58. That's 1 second better. So I would say I'm more proud than anything. I was super proud of many of my runs then, and honestly I'm really sad that I would have been a lot happier bragging about all the cool movements I was doing as opposed to this lousy garbage here. This was after many failures and many attempts, and I was just starting to get very sloppy in my gameplay. I was just not feeling it as much anymore, and I think this might have been like my final run of the day, because I think at the start you could see like the net graph appear on screen. That was immediately after another run where I'd gotten to finale, but it was just like a bad run, and I just thought I was gonna call it. I was just gonna do one more run, and thank God I did. I am happy that I did get a sub 10, you know, so that officially means you can call me the king of the subs. No, I'm very happy that I know that I can get a much better time. Like, if Axes were to come back and get this, I believe I would be more than willing, more than ready to try to beat whatever time he gets. Because it's my sum of best is an 8:53. With Sappy gameplay and everything, I still managed to get a 9:58.